Hi, welcome to this episode of Your Black World News. I'm your host, Roosevelt Mitchell III. Today, I am joined by Ms. Mona Lisa Weber, who is the host of Probation Station. How you doing today, Mona?
I'm doing well, thank you. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. Thank you so much for your time. And I want to speak with you about the state of Illinois and how it charges its prisoners for being there. Right? I read a recent article that I sent to you as well about it sues the former prisoners who has been released on probation or parole are free for their room and board.
I'm not really sure how it's legal. What's happening is that it's kind of showing the community and everyone that the system can do whatever they want. You feel me? So when I was reading the article, I started getting very frustrated and also scared at the same time because now they're pretty much doing what they want. Because if you send someone to prison, you feel me, and they serve their time, what more damage can you do? Now you're charging them money. Like, so they get out, they have psychological issues, they don't really know how to deal with the outside world or society, they don't even know how to communicate with people in the outside world. Now you're pretty much taking their money too. And but when I was reading the article, it's talking about like people who have like inherited. So it's being done strategically. So whoever is reading the mail, we need to start looking into them.
Exactly, because one guy had won a lawsuit and the state of Illinois had sued him for the room and board and won, and the family had to borrow money or raise money just to have him cremated. Like he had nothing.
Absolutely nothing. A lot of them don't have anything, and they're targeting I don't slavery.
It is because once you get inside the system, and I have a brother who has been in who I went and seen in Springfield about a month ago, who's been in Springfield, I mean in a county jail for 2 years for murder. But they hadn't come with any evidence saying that he did it, and they still won't let him out of jail. So he's been in there for 2 years.
And still trying to fight it.
So once he get out, you know, he's already lost his family. You know, his old lady didn't left him. His daughter is, missing him. But he's not going to be able to find a job or anything because he has priors. So he can't get a job. He can't get public housing. So then they still might sue him for room and board. You know, statistic that said that 11 prisoners or parolees since 2010 has been sued by the state and had to pay the state money.
That's insane. And it's going to increase, you know that, right? Because now they're finding other ways to get money from the prisoners. But then also it says something about 43 states have this law. 43, which is crazy. So then they also mentioned something about taxpayers. So okay, let's kind of do let's kind of analyze this a little bit. So taxpayers are the ones who are paying for, people to be taken care of in prison. So then the prisoners get out, you sue them, you take their money because they're saying that it'll alleviate the taxpayers' costs. So are we as taxpayers going to get that money back? Or are we going to start suing the state for the money? So where's that money going really? There's a lot of fishy behavior going on that we need to start paying attention to because that doesn't even make any sense. It's supposed to be a rehabilitation type of center. You know what I'm saying? It's mind-boggling. When I saw that, I was like, well, what else? What's next?
Exactly. And not to mention the prison industrial complex. So you go in and they working for next to nothing. They making money off these prisoners for being there. So then right on the taxpayers' dime, and then you release them, and then you sue them for even being there. So oh my gosh, they're getting paid all away.
All the way around. And we're here sleeping. And our community is sleeping.
And they kind of try to justify it as the lawsuits target convicted murderers and sex offenders. Like okay, we're just going to do this to the bottom of the barrel. They try to make them to be like the bottom of the barrel to where, okay, they're bad people, quote unquote, because they're sex offenders and murderers, so we'll just do that to them. But everybody else we won't. Yeah, come on.
And I say, how do you find out? Because when the article was clear, when it was talking about someone had gotten an inheritance and they received a letter from like a mortgage type company. So who's ever opening the mail is the one who's giving this information because it's a referral type of service. So it's like, okay, if someone gets the mail and it says $10,000, whoever's taking in that mail is referring that information to the higher ups to bring about this lawsuit.
Exactly. Like Johnny has money, so let's just target him, right?
Right. Not knowing that Johnny's going to really need that money when he comes out here.
Right. Right. Yeah. So it's one big crooked system, and it's a sad, sad place that this is supposed to be the free world, right? But yet we like judges has been sent to prison for selling black children to private prisons in order for them to make money off the prison industrial complex, and now this. So I mean, I saw it and I was pretty much flabbergasted. Like, how is this even possible? And then it said something about the Illinois law allows the state to sue inmates from their incarceration dates to 1982, right? So I mean, it's I just don't know, like, who do we contact in order to try to fight this?
I'm gonna be honest. I don't even know because sometimes even legislation is up on this. You know what I'm saying? People are aware of this in the higher ups. I truly believe it's just profit. They don't really see anything else outside of profit. It's just money. That's it. It doesn't matter who they have to destroy to get it. So like I always say, the community, we have to unite and stand up and try to find strategic ways to get this done. It is a lot of work, but I don't know, like we have to get organized and really start challenging these laws and putting pressure on that person who's opening that mail because it's so blatant. It's like we know who's doing it. It's a referral system. The article clearly stated that. So therefore, if you're sending mail, the person who opens the mail, that should be target number one. We should start writing letters to all these prisons. But again, it's time consuming. I just don't know how we're going to get this done. But the more we become awake, the more people need to get involved and start organizing and strategizing. It has to be the community because we cannot rely on the system to do it.
Right, exactly. Because the system is making money off of it. So if it's profitable, no, they're not going to stop that.
Right.
But I think what I'm going to do is reach out to some district attorneys or some people in the legislation in the state of Illinois to kind of get a better sense of clarity about this, or to maybe see if they can point me in the right direction of who can I speak to, because I'm pretty sure that my brother may be in this predicament. I mean, I never know. I mean, as well as a lot of other people, family members, and I mean, and that's sad for them to be in that position. And if he comes home, right, I'm already gonna have to look out for him because he is going to have nothing, right? So, and then on top of that, he gets letters in the mail. I mean, he owes money for being locked up in a place that he didn't want to be in the first place.
Right. So it's like this. Are you going to send him to prison or are you going to charge him money? Which one is it? It can't be both. You're killing them both ways. You're depriving them of their family. Okay, I get it. You commit a crime, you do your time, but the taxpayers are already paying for that. So what's the problem? And it's just it's so blatant that it's a profit system because now look what they're doing. Like what more evidence do we need to see that it's a profit system? We know, well, I can personally say, I come across a lot of people who come out of prison. You know what I'm saying? And they're just trying to adjust. They can't even make decisions on their own, let alone now start getting a lawsuit and trying to pay money. So now you got family members involved. Now you're putting pressure on the family members. It's like a destruction of family. You know what I'm saying? Because as we know, money is the number one or the number two cause of divorces. You feel me? It's all about money. Everything revolves around money. You know what I'm saying? So now you're just putting more pressure trickling down to the family, to the children. And this man is already under pressure trying to survive out here in the streets. I don't, you know how I get, Roosevelt. You know how I get.
Not to mention all brothers and sisters who are in prison because they couldn't afford a lawyer, right? Lawyers too high, so they had to cop out or maybe take the plea deal and say, well, I can't fight it because I don't have the money, so let me go to prison and lay down, as they say, for whatever the amount of time. But once they get there, they still have to pay on the back end. Yeah, I was just like, wow. But I thank you so much for your time, and I would like to give you the last word.
Well, definitely thank you for having me. I appreciate it. Love to give input on stuff like this. Just my experience through the system, it just really taught me on a personal level that it is a corrupt system and it's definitely not for us. So, again, I just want to thank you, and to all the viewers, much love, and just reach out to me. It's probationstation.com. I teach the criminal justice system. I'm a former probation officer, and I'm just here, to educate to the best of my ability. So again, much love. Thank you for your time, and I appreciate you.
And on that note, until next time, my friends, be blessed and be encouraged.